Central Methodist is coming off a 23-20 loss to Lindenwood Belleville. For his efforts, Trevor Robinson was named the Heart of America Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week in the game against Belleville. He had 2.5 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 11 total tackles. Your thoughts on his play?
Oh man, what can you say? I mean, I'm kind of speechless about it a little bit, but I think the main thing I think about is just deserving. I mean, there isn't anybody that works harder than Trevor does, and I'm talking all year round. A lot of people think, oh, I'll get to 2-a-days and I'll go to work and start preparing. And Trevor, as soon as the season's over, he's starting up his preparation already, and he's done that every year. So he deserves everything he gets because he really works for it. And he wants it as bad, if not worse, than anybody does. And just really proud of him and how hard he just keeps going. And he's a tough guy to beat, man. He's a competitor, and he had a great week this week, and hopefully it'll continue.
The senior defensive end set the single-season CMU record for sacks last season with 11. With 5 this season, he is closing in on the Central Methodist career record for sacks. In 3 years of varsity play, he is 23. School record is 25. What would it mean to you to see him get that record under your watch?
I think it'd be really it'd mean a lot. It'd be very special because I think of Trevor. He's kind of like my little brother, or maybe like a son, kind of. And he came out here not knowing anybody. And more so than what he does on the football field, I mean, he's grown up a lot in life. I mean, he was a guy that was really kind of a loner when he got here and just had no friends and didn't really want any friends. I mean, he was very had some problems socially. And one thing we talk about here is being a family through thick and thin. And whether we win or lose, the biggest thing to us is not so much winning or losing. It's about being brothers and being a family and taking care of each other through adversity. And Trevor's one of those guys that he's learned a lot while he's been here. He's learned how to be a brother and how to be a friend, and also how to make friends. And his personality now, I mean, I think he can work for, talk to, do anything for anybody. And he's a guy that, somebody asked me, should they hire him for a job, I probably wouldn't let him off the phone until they did, because I know he can do anything now. And it wasn't like that when he first got here. So I'm really proud of Trevor. I mean, it'd mean a lot if he gets that sack record. I think for all of us, but I tell you, the guy that he would be breaking the record, and Justin Wisdom. Justin was very special here, and he's a guy that we still keep in touch with and is very big in our program. So it also mean a lot too with Trevor, if he is able to break it, that that we are able to make sure Justin lives on as well, because Justin was a tremendous football player here.
Brian Jackson, even though he's missed the last several games this season, set the Central Methodist career record for passes completed and pass attempts. With him being a senior as well, what has he meant to your program over the last 4 years?
He set such a good example. I mean, a guy that is always just ready. He always shows up for work. He's ready to work, and he does his job, and he's just been a great example of what it should be like to be a senior and just have a great attitude. He's been through a lot this past 6 weeks, starting the first game, having a rough game, then getting benched, and having Bogey go down, and then he gets to come in and play and does a great job, and then turn around, he gets hurt, and it's such a roller coaster, man, just being a part of the family. And the one thing that we all learn in a family is there's a lot of dysfunction, but we are tight through our dysfunction, and that's one thing our guys, I can't ask for a better group of guys, and guys to just live with and be a part of. They're great, and Brian's the same way. He's a great guy that, we only have him for a few more weeks, and Trevor for a few more weeks. They're going to be sorely missed, but they're guys that we take pride in, that we'll know them hopefully for the next 20, 30 years.
Central Methodist travels to 12th-ranked Benedictine College on Saturday. Benedictine was 4-0, coming off their first loss of the season, 55-44 to Evangel. What did you see in that game from Benedictine, and what have you seen from them on film all year that you think impresses them? Just the general thoughts on their team.
Gosh, it's just they play so well as a team, and just what they do together when you talk about gelling chemistry and just the stability. It's just, in 2 words, Larry Wilcox. I mean, Coach Wilcox is that football program. He is kind of that school, and he makes that place go, in my opinion, and he makes that team go. And when you have that kind of stability and you have those players there and you're there for their full career, they're going to work for you. And they really work their tail off for Coach Wilcox and for each other. And you can tell they're very close and very tight. And they're going to be a tough opponent. They're a tough challenge, and we got a lot to work on to be able to compete with them. But that's a great thing about competition, is we're looking forward to it, going in and competing again in Atchison, and it'll be a great environment. They have a great crowd there and a great following, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Benedictine's quarterback Bill Noonan has completed 72% of his passes this year, 15 touchdowns versus only 3 interceptions. What makes him such an effective passer?
A little bit of everything, especially the run game. I mean, when you have to really stop the run game and all of a sudden you're loading the box with 8 people or 9 people, and you get those deadly wide receivers out there one-on-one with people, and he can really pick you apart. I mean, play actions and all that stuff, and they just do a good job of keeping you on your heels. I mean, they stay very unpredictable with what they're going to do, and the minute you think you're going to run and they throw it, the minute you think you're going to throw and they run it, and it's not only tough to stop him, but their entire offense. So, but he does a great job putting it on the money and doing what they ask him to do, and I'm sure he'll be on top of his game again this week, and we really have to play well to beat him.
You talked about the Ravens' run game. Tailback Cameron Ford is averaging close to 93 yards a game. What have you seen on film that makes him an effective runner and so difficult for defenses to stop?
Just how passionate and how hard he works. I mean, you can tell he's got a big heart inside that little body, and he works his tail off, you know. And I've been so impressed with him, not only this year but over the years, because he brings it, man. And you really gotta gang up on him and tackle him to get him down. And he's a lot like Burton for us. I mean, Burton's a great player for us, and Cameron's a lot like Burton. They're both extremely, unbelievably good, and you know, that's a good thing we have a chance to practice against Burton, because that's the only real look we get in comparison to what Cameron can bring. But I have a lot of respect for Cameron, and he does a great job for them, and he'll be tough to stop.
Benedictine's defense is anchored by defensive end Jordan Ankar. What makes him such a great player for them, as he is one of the top tacklers on their squad?
He just, again, same thing, big heart, plays with a lot of passion, does a great job. I mean, it's tough to stop those guys, and especially Ankar. Just, man, he's a force. I mean, he keeps coming, and again, kind of similar to how Trevor is for us. I mean, they're very similar players, but it's one of those things, man. You got a game plan for them and be ready, because if you don't plan for them, they're going to get you. And Jordan's a tough guy to beat.
What do you think will be the keys to the game on Saturday in order for hopefully Central Methodist to defeat Benedictine for the first time since 2009?
Well, big thing is, you know, stopping the run with them, and then making sure the ball doesn't fly over our head, because it's the same deal. That's how they got us last year. They ran it well, and then they threw it deep well, and we got to do a good job with them on that. And then, you know, secondly, we've got to do a great job, you know, offensively taking care of the ball and not turning it over, and making sure that we do what we do. And special teams wise, same thing. We've got to do a good job protecting the punter and making sure we can get our punts off, because they do have a great punt block team. And we got a lot on our plate. We got to go to work and execute and go at it, and we're looking forward to it.